Okay, so factoring quadratic trinomials, I'm going to be looking for factors of negative 30 with the sum of negative 7. So I'm going to try negative 3 times 10, that gives me negative 30. Negative 3 plus 10 gives me 7. Well, that's not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a negative 7. So I'm going to switch the negatives of my factors. 3 times negative 10, it'll give me negative 30. So let's try 3 plus negative 10 will give me negative 7, which is what I'm looking for. And since my leading coefficient over here is 1, all I have to do is factor x squared, and the factors of x squared is x and x. Now, all I have to do is put my factors in here. I have a factor of 3 and a factor of negative 10. And that's it. I'm done. Now this one, my leading coefficient is no longer 1. So there's two ways to do this. It's by guess and check. So I'm going to show you by guess and check first. Guess and check. So I know when I factor a quadratic trinomial, I get the product of two binomials. And the factors of 2x squared is 2x and x. And so now I have to find some factors of 10. And one of those factors I have to multiply by 2 so I can get the sum of 9. So I'm going to try 5 and 2. And they're both positive, so I know both of these are going to be positive. So now I'm going to check it. So the only two things I have to check is my outside and inside. As long as the sum of my outside and inside of the FOIL method gives me 9x, I'm good. So my outside gives me 10x, my inside gives me 2x. Well, that gives me 12x. That's not what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just switch my 2 and my 5. So my outside gives me 4x, my inside gives me 5x. That is 9x. Voila. This is my answer. Now there's another way to solve this, and you can do this by grouping. And in order to factor it by grouping, we have to separate this middle term into two separate terms. So I'm going to separate it to 2x squared plus 4x plus 5x plus 10. Okay, so now I'm going to group these two and these two up. So let me look at I'm going to cover up these terms. I'm going to look at these terms and say, okay, I notice I can pull out an x and a 2, the greatest common factor. So I'm going to divide each term by 2x. And then I'm left with x plus 2 on the inside. Now I'm going to cover this part up. And all I can pull out over here is a 5. So I'm going to divide both terms by 5. And I get x plus 2. So now I'm down to this. Well, if you're looking at this, you can notice that we have x plus 2 in both of our terms. So now I'm going to factor out an x plus 2 out of each term. So this term is divided by x plus 2. This term I'm going to divide by x plus 2. And what I get left is x plus 2. When I divide it, I get left with 2x, divide that, plus 5. And then that is it. And as you can see, I have the same answer in both. So it's two different ways and you can get the same answer. That's it.